Hey cutie, if you want to see how I achieved this gorgeous blue hair in only 10 minutes, keep on watching.
So just rain down on me.
Today we're going to be dyeing our hair in 10 minutes using the watercolor method. You need your dye, your got to be glued, a rat tail comb, a blow dryer, your bundles, a container, and a pot with hot water. So first I'm going to prep my frontal to be sprayed with the got to be glue in order to protect the knots and make sure the knots aren't dyed. So right here I'm just spraying the lace of the frontal with the got to be glue, and like I said, this protects it and make sure you don't get any dye on your actual lace or your scalp will look whatever color you're dyeing your hair. Now I'm going to take my blow dryer and I'm going to blow dry the got to be glued until it's nice and hard. And right here I'm just making sure I'm getting every single inch of the got to be glued, and I'm going to do that again. I think I did about 2 layers. I definitely did not want a blue scalp, so I'm just doing that over again. Now I'm just blow drying it, making sure that it's nice and dry. So right here, as you can see, sometimes like the edges can get stuck onto the glue, or the glue will seep through the lace onto the edges. So right here I'm just making sure that all of the edges are back and not onto the lace. Or I'm just trying to, I think I'm trying to pull the glue off of the edges. So right here I have a binder clip. I'm showing y'all how big the binder clip is. I'm going to take that binder clip and clip all of the bundles together. Instead of just dipping one bundle one by one to save a lot of time, you could just clip all your bundles together. Now I have my boiling hot water and I'm going to pour it. Ooh, be careful y'all. I'm going to pour it into my container. Yes, it is hot. Be so careful with this, because that water should be boiling. Okay, so now I'm going to take my indigo blue dye. You can use whatever dye of your choice, and I'm going to spread it around in the water. I don't put it in one place because this dye does tend to clump up, so I spread it all around just so it could evenly distribute. And now I'm going to take my spoon and stir it around to make sure that it breaks up into the water. Be careful with this step too, because the hot water can easily splash. So try to stir it carefully, as careful as possible. I added all 3 dyes to my water, and then I decided to do a paper towel test. So basically you take a white paper towel and you dip it into the water to make sure that the color is to your liking. And the color was to my liking. I don't know why I dipped it so much. Oh, also, as you can see, the more you dip it, the darker it is. So if you wanted an ombre effect, that's something to note. But as you can see, the color is to my liking. So now that I have everything the way I want it, I'm just about to take my bundles and dip it right on into the water. I don't know why I was acting scared, but this was my first time ever doing something like this, so I was a little scared, but I just ended up putting it in the water and then pushing it down because it wasn't necessarily like really dipping. Yeah, as you can see, I just ended up pushing it down, putting the whole thing into the water. I'm just making sure that the hair is in there real good, and I let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. After my 10 minutes is up, I check on my hair just to see how I was doing, to see how I was looking. And as you can see, it already has that very deep blue. And that's the type of blue that I was going for. Right now, I'm just checking every single strand and every single clump to make sure that the dye took everywhere. Because I did clip them together, sometimes the dye will miss a certain clump or part of the hair. So I'm just making sure that the dye is evenly distributed throughout the hair. Now, I'm just dipping it again, making sure that the dye is really on there. Y'all don't have to do this step, but I'm just doing this because I just want to make sure. Alright, so now it's time to dip the frontal. And I was really scared to do this frontal part. I was trying, the last thing I wanted was blue lace. So I was trying to be so careful, but eventually I just ended up just putting the whole thing into the water. And it should be protected because we already sprayed it with our Got to Be Glued. So if you did it right, nothing should go wrong. So as you can see, I ended up submerging the whole frontal into the dye, and I left the frontal in the dye for about 10 to 15 minutes as well. I was just so scared of messing up this frontal, and after you dye it, it's really no turning back, so there's no way to fix it. But I left it in there, and this was how it ended up looking. I was so pleased with the results. I was so happy that I did not mess it up, y'all. And the lace was still the correct color, so that was good as well. For whatever reason, the middle ended up being a little bit lighter than the rest. I think it's the hair. It wasn't nothing I did. I did that. So, but I ended up liking how it turned out. A little bit lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. And this is the finished look, y'all. To say this is my first time doing it, I was so happy with the results. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment down below any video you would want to see me do next. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell so you're notified every single time I post a new video. Until next time, keep it cute.
So